Hello. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. Just drove past an old Dunn Brothers coffee shop where I used to really, really, really want to play a show. I was just talking about that in another video. I drove past. It's a place. It's a very small place near a small college. I want to talk for a minute about success. Success is this elusive thing that we think is in our brain. We think it's a dream that we have to dream up and create. But what is success? Can a tree be successful? Hi, tree. It's growing straight, it's growing tall. You've never heard of it before, but it's just focused on its work and on its growth. And it just grows day after day, month after month, year after year. So think about, what are your goals? Who do you want to be? Why do you want to be it? Don't get lost in the questions like I have for 20 years. Because before those questions, I also spent 20 years just accumulating skills, just being focused on a task, getting the A's in the class, learning the piano songs, not wondering how good I would be 20 years from now, but just enjoying that song I was on, enjoying that level I was at. Forgot the N, I just said joying, but that's what it feels like, joying, being in joy. Be in the joy of where you're at. I am on the cusp of something beautiful, and if I decide to, I can focus this time after this little drive and go back home. And by home, I mean my brother's home. I'm good at having my home in my own heart and my suitcases and my stuff. But in this case, I mean my brother's home because I'm house sitting. I said home when I was in southern Indiana too, and I'll say home. It might be a little bit more feeling other people's places as homes because we're on an impending, exciting new moment of a journey, of a move, buying a house, all those exciting things, making a new home somewhere, and it makes you feel a little bit homeless because you're intentionally uprooting, but we'll get through it. It'll be a little hard to get through, but people have gotten through it before. People have gotten through all kinds of change before. I'm not the only one to get a divorce. I'm not the only one to fall in love with somebody after a divorce when I meant to move away and then stay, life is weird. Callings are weird. Hearts are weird. Anyway, I'm very happy though. Very, very happy and feel very blessed on a regular basis. So it's just a reminder to be in the joy today, here in St. Paul, Minnesota, by McAllister College and the University of St. Thomas. Reflecting on success, where success comes from. Success is not a one moment thing. Success is not 800 YouTube videos tearing the foundation apart. Although to you, perhaps that looks like success because I'm being myself and I'm letting myself ask the questions. But my heart asked me to start answering the questions. And if I grew up in a system that showed me how to build success like Legos, if success to you looks like a finished, cool Lego sculpture, then you don't just keep putting one brick somewhere in one room, one brick in another room, one brick in another room. You don't just put them all over the place. I guess you draft a plan and you build according to your plan. And if your heart is with God, and Jesus and the Holy Spirit flows through you and you feel called to do something for God, and so in a way you often don't feel like you get to know the plan, then that could be part of the problem, but also it's the solution, because I think that's common. I think we are having a common shared experience here. And I think a lot of people don't know what to plan, don't know what to do with their hearts, don't know what to do with their time, feel a real ache for the pain of the world, for COVID, for Black Lives Matter, for human rights. We feel a real ache. But you're just one little person. You're one tiny little person. And your time would be better spent helping just those few people right around you and showing love. I mean, what if the people right around you need to hear you be an anti-racist and speak up? Rather than just, avoiding those people and then posting on social media in an echo chamber, preaching to a choir that already sings your same song. Like, why are we doing this? Why can't it be both? That's my prayer for today, or for this moment, because I've already had like 5 prayers today, really. Actual, like, sit-down prayers, but also, 5, whatever, videos already, who knows. This is a very strange thing that I do. And this is how I keep the energy moving. And I try to use up my life force on things that don't harm anyone. I'm trying to. I haven't watched my Colorado videos yet. I'm like 6 months behind in uploads, and I'm on the Southern Indiana first time when I wrote my favorite song of 2020 in terms of uploads. So that'd be like September 2020, and now it's March of 2021. Right now it's March 21. And I'm not even, now I'm 6 months behind. I used to always say I'm 4 months behind, 3 months behind, 4 months behind. Well, so now I'm obviously having a YouTubing habit, borderline problem. No kidding, it's not a problem. It does eat up my time though, but that's a good thing because my time makes me anxious. And until you know what your project is, until you've picked your Lego house, until you know where you want to build it, who you want to build it with, your time, your free time can actually drive you crazy and lead you down into the pits of hell. It's like idle hands, devil's playground. Until you know what you need to build for you and for your heart and for God and for this lifetime, until you know for sure, filling up your time with wholesome, innocent things is not a bad thing to do. At least I don't think so. I mean, basically, this whole video day is because I didn't know my brother was going to teach me how to use his studio before he left with his family, and now I'm not only watching their dog, and I thought I would have this time free to just deep dive into my old songs. I have a box of old songs. I have, like, feelings, and instead, now I feel this intense internal and external pressure to record this album that I told him I wanted to record in his studio, but the pressure's too much. I wasn't planning on doing it, so I never practiced the song, so I'm, like, really feeling too much anxiety. Like, I had no idea that he was going to teach me how to use it and run it myself. I had no clue. I'm kind of blown away. He's the most kind person with his resources. This is why I'm not anti-rich people. My brother has ended up accumulating some wealth, and he works hard for it. And they save, and they don't go buy fancy coffees. This is because their coffee maker broke. But he gave it me. Because I've had the same coffee maker for 20 years. You know, well, there's a lot of myths around what it is to have money. Some people think it's to spend a lot, but for some people it's just saving a lot. That's all it is. They don't spend just for fun in the same ways that I do. Maybe one big purchase and then they save for it, like the Lego house. I spent like 10 years getting over any anger that I had about imbalances of wealth because a lot of it is choices. I make really ridiculous choices. I just go out and just kind of put my Legos all over. That's what these little videos are. It's me having time and resources and money and just scattering them like seed. And like wildflowers. But I don't want to be down on myself either because I like wildflowers. I love wildflowers. But my brother's more like an intentional garden. And maybe one that actually has food that people can eat, not just beautiful wildflowers spread everywhere. I mean, I think these are beautiful. I love my YouTube videos. It's weird to say that out loud while you're making one. But I know that someday I'll watch this and I'll be like, oh, this is cute. It's just, around the block from the coffee shop, I really wanted to perform it, but now I wrote a song around the block from it. And that didn't need to occur. Like in the old days when a door wouldn't open for me, I wouldn't walk away. I had none of the wisdom of like the Maya Angelou's in my youth when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I never had that. I never had that wisdom. I always wanted it. I really always wanted it. And so that's what I devoted my life to. Steve, brother, mom, dad, Stephanie, sister, although she gets it because she talks to me like every single week and we talk all the time. She gets it. People, that's what I wanted. I didn't want the material things in the world. I would love to build a Lego house. I'd love to build an actual house. But I wanted wisdom. I wanted to heal from trauma. I wanted to feel good inside my skin. Knowing that we almost can't feel good inside our skin because there's so many ways that we are all hypocrites. Because what I learned in Southern Indiana or Central Indiana is don't make the solution into the problem, or don't mistake the solution for the problem. If you see someone with alcoholism, if you see someone who's overweight, if you see someone who is coping in some strange way, drug addiction, yelling at their kids, anything, that's their solution to something. So if you're feeling a lot, so it's a solution to feelings, so you're feeling a lot. But the feelings are also a solution to something. The feelings are a solution to your behavior. The feelings are like a compass. They're trying to alert you to your behavior or your experiences or your choices. People are texting me. It's my mom and my brother. How sweet. They're at a nice place. I hope they relax and have a nice week. So underneath your behavior is a reaction to, sometimes, just to sin, just to being alive, selfishness, all kinds of things. We are selfish. We're trapped in that selfishness of separation. I don't know what God had intended before the original sin. I don't know what that would have been like. But we're all trying to get away from this awareness that we're shitty people. But don't try to run away from it. It's just the truth. You can become the most wise, wisdom-seeking, spiritual-seeking giver and giver-awayer of music and heart and light and love, and you want to spread joy in the world, and still, at the end of the day, you have your own hypocrisies and your own ways that you're a shitty person. You're not showing up for everyone you could. You're not doing everything, and that's not a cause for anxiety, because anxiety is part of, in my opinion, the devil's tricking. So you can't escape it. God's grace can help you ascend, I think. Not have to feel it all the time. If you want to be in joy, like you sometimes see someone like me being. If you want to feel comfortable in your body and in your choices and in your life without, too many ways of checking out, then that's grace. I'm not inherently better. And that's part of the peace. The peace is, the feeling of peace comes from knowing I don't have to have it all together, knowing I don't have to be better than you, knowing I don't have to be confident in order to be wise. I wanted wisdom, not confidence. And confidence came from wisdom, but there's wisdom even in admitting that you're anxious sometimes. There you go. That is St. Paul. I think that's probably the only song I'm going to write here, because getting that out and admitting that I'm really anxious about making a very important album, and I'm putting it in quotes because just because you've built something up for a long time doesn't mean it's important. If you built something up and never did it, it might mean conditions weren't right, but it might also mean you only thought it was important. Or it might mean that it was important, and then before you had the conditions or the resources, it lost its importance to you. Because I tried to record this album, Trees for Clouds, a long time ago on my laptop or on my computer when I had Pro Tools with Brian. And I tried to do it with a MIDI piano, but I hated what I was recording. So we'll see. If it comes out naturally and the piano parts just flow and are beautiful, then maybe that's why it didn't work back then, because it was meant to be on a real piano. I don't know. I just can't pretend to know anymore. And I can't hold my life so tight, like a vice grip. And you might think that's funny because it doesn't look like I am. It looks like I'm just flowing and being natural, but this is the only place I really do this. When I'm around people, I'm holding myself like a vice grip. When I'm thinking about my future and what I should do with my free time when I'm not recording myself, I'm holding my time like a vice grip. I'm not letting go. I'm not letting it flow. Or if I am, it's because I just read some wisdom book like the Tao Te Ching or something in the Bible that spoke to me, and then I felt released and relaxed for a minute. But otherwise, anxiety grips me all day long. And then that's what creates the wastefulness of the day. I have a whole day ahead of me. I have a whole week ahead of me to record this album. I mean, the good news is I have to work through these feelings anyway. Whether I do it on YouTube or I do it privately in my journal, doesn't matter. I have to work through these feelings because I couldn't have just written it on a list and then sat down and played a perfect piano album. My own emotional landscape is a huge piece of whether or not I will create an album for you that is beautiful. And if I don't work through the emotions before I put it down, you're going to hear the anxiety inside of the recordings, and they won't be beautiful, and they won't be transcendent, and they won't help you transcend, and they won't help you access beauty. So I want you to feel and have a positive experience. And for you to feel and have a positive experience from one of my recordings, I have to be having a positive experience in the recording. So I can't bring my garbage into the recording, which means I have to get it out, which is why I like just making up new songs, because then it kind of is the two things mixed together, just getting it out, whatever it is, and then they're new songs. But that's not being a professional singer-songwriter. So to be a professional singer-songwriter, one who wants to like sell really nice albums or submit to a label, you know, like my dream from 10 years ago, like Joanna Newsom, if I want to submit something to a label, I want to make a really high quality version of my absolute favorite songs writing-wise, and I've already given them names and I script them out, and it's like, okay, well then now here's the script. That's the pressure. It's 6 weeks till the play. You know, it's no different than being in theater, and it's like, here's the script, go make the album. And I think really it might come down to that I do songs that are old. I think a lot of my resistance is, do I still feel these same themes that I felt in 2015? I don't think I do. But I'm upset that I never recorded them. I want to record them. I want them to have been recorded. They never were recorded. So I have to somehow muster up 2015 feelings. And back then and 2014 feelings. I'm working on an album from all 2014 songs too, the one called Everything's True. So Trees for Cloud is all these 2015 songs, and Everything's True is all these 2014 songs. Trees for Clouds has some early 2016 songs too, like through March 2016 as well. But I was a very different person. That was before Trump was president. That was before, I mean, it didn't even seem possible. I was super thin. I was just starting to put on weight. I was alone a lot. I was working a terrible job that I hated, where I had replaced a very traumatic situation and person, and the place was traumatized, and I was like filling a hole while a place needed to go through like a healing and grieving process, and I was just like, what is going on? And then I thankfully got out of there, but it took me 3.5 years to get out of there, and it was just a mess. So all these songs were written during that time, and but then again, I was also like, oh no, only the Everything's True songs were written during that time. Trees for Clouds was written right after I quit. I got out of that job and I went on a writing retreat, but then I was wrestling with all the past tense feelings of like, what the F just happened, and like cleaning out my hard drive from crap from my ex and like a divorce from 3 years earlier, and I'm dating a new guy who I loved, even though we were only together like 1.5 years at that point. But it was just like, it's just like digging back into these times in my life that were so gross and hard. Maybe that's it. I loved those times in my life in a lot of ways, but they were so hard. And that's partly why I haven't been able to just really get my life, do the Legos, because I'm just like, what the hell has my life been? Like, it's been so hard. Okay, all my videos have been leading up to this moment. I'll probably even have more moments after this like this, but if I don't ever again, that's cool too. Thank you. To go forward, you have to let go of the past. And that might mean not bringing it up, but it might just mean when it comes up, it's okay that it came up. You don't have to erase your past. You don't have to whitewash your past. You just let it go. And you breathe. And you move on. Because I have cool Lego building things to do. And exciting new future dreams. And I get to do them. And you get to do them too. We get to do them. We get to move on. We didn't ask for traumas. It's like a black hole down or a spiral up. It's like, it's your choice. When I feel like I'm just black holing, spiraling down, I have a choice to go up. I have a choice to ask to go up. I have a choice to be lifted. I have a choice to pray. I have a choice to remember that this leads me nowhere going down. It leads me nowhere that I want to be anymore. I keep forgetting about law of attraction videos. They tell you to like think thoughts about things that you actually want to focus on. Like think thoughts that feel good. For me, thinking about God and wisdom and healing and progress and building a life, all of that feels good. And praying for people feels good. But doing exorcisms does not feel good. So I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. Like, that's a weird, I don't know. Having visions is one thing, but feeling personally responsible to like do something about them for people is like a total other thing and way outside my pay grade, which is zero. Just kidding. I always say that about videos, but I shouldn't say that about helping people. I don't know. Well, there you go. Video number 24 of the day. Just kidding. I don't know. I'm going to go back to Minneapolis, drive past a couple other places. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe just go back and start recording. We'll see. See where the day takes me. The crows? I think that's a crow. Such a, like, almost aggressive call. Anyway, bye.